No, I don't know what I expected.
So if you're on AO3 as often as I am, chances are you've seen this tag pop up a few times while perusing fanfics. Dead dove, do not eat. Dead dove. Now, why the would a fic be tagged with a dead bird warning? Please tell me a dove doesn't actually die in the fic. Oh god, please tell me someone doesn't actually try to eat it. Well, rest assured, no fictional birds were harmed in the making of the fic. Probably. And if you're confused, don't worry, it's actually pretty straightforward. Dead dove is a warning tag used by fanfic authors to express that, hey, there's some freaky, dark, problematic, messed up in here that may be morally reprehensible and not necessarily condemned or subverted. The author is well aware of this, so know what you're getting into before you click it and read. It's used in conjunction with other fanfic tags and basically means what you see is what you get. The phrase was coined from a scene from the show Arrested Development, where the character Michael Bluth opens the fridge to find a paper bag with the words "dead dove, do not eat" written on it, presumably because there's a dead dove inside. And when he opens it up, he winces and says, I don't know what I expected. While the meaning of the phrase has been around since the 2010s, i.e. having a dead dove moment, and there have been several prototypes for it across different fandoms. For example, Hydra Trash Party for Hydra-centric torture fics in the Captain America fandom. The tag for fanfic as we know it now came about when Tumblr user Mostly Valid suggested it to be used pan-fandom. The dead dove do not eat tag would essentially be a what it says on the tin meta tag, indicating you see the tropes and concepts tagged here? They're going to appear in this fic exactly as said. There will not necessarily be any subversion, authorial commentary condemning problematic aspects, or meditation on potential harm. This fic contains dead dove. If you proceed, you should expect to encounter it. The tag has actually evolved over the years. It kind of became a marker for, hey, pay attention to the tags here. It's clearly labeled and there's some unpleasant stuff in this fic, and if you get pissed because you ignored the warning, I don't know what you expected. However, the dead dove tag started becoming synonymous with the content it was trying to draw attention to, so it eventually became seen as both the warning tag for fanfics, as well as its own category of fanfic to refer to the content that needs to be thoroughly warned for, or that could be potentially upsetting to readers. It's like if there was a physical sign on a fence that said, warning, danger, tread carefully ahead, and people were like, oh, that sign is warning me to know what I'm getting into. If I go past the fence, it's telling me there's danger, and that danger is going to be as it is. And then that gradually also started being interpreted as, oh, I have to be careful around that sign and fence because they could be dangerous, if that makes any sense. Dead dove do not eat is also often used as an emphasizer tag, sort of like a exclamation point to express that the tags in the fic are at a level that warrants an extra oomph. Caps lock, like, hey, this fic is tagged with extreme violence, and the dead dove tag is here to let you know that it's extreme violence, like way beyond the normal level of extreme, so be warned. And then there's yet another interpretation of dead dove do not eat that gained a fair amount of traction, where it's used as a sort of placeholder tag to warn that there is yikes content in the fic, but the author isn't going to disclose what the yikes content is. The dead dove tag you see is the only warning you're gonna get, which does basically nothing to warn the reader. Like, some authors do it so they don't have to spoil the content of the fic in the tags, or they feel that the content of the fic is so out there that it can't be tagged. But there's other ways to circumvent all of that, like using AO3's creator chose not to use archive warnings tag. And plus, the readers have absolutely no idea what to expect besides whatever's included in the initial summary. They don't know if when they're reading, they're gonna come across a particularly gruesome major character death scene, or gore, or both. The two can go hand in hand. It's like, going back to the sign on a fence metaphor, sticking a sign on a fence that just says, warning. Warning! What, man-eating snakes, the most unhinged, intense smut you've ever seen in your life? So, word of advice, if you're an author, don't use dead dove do not eat as a substitute for tagging. Its purpose is to be a big blinking let-up arrow pointing to the tags, not a big blinking let-up arrow pointing to nothing. Examples of content that could warrant a dead dove do not eat warning, or be classified as dead dove do not eat, include and are not limited to non-con, dubcon, depictions of abuse, murder, cannibalism, serial killers, mind control, extremely graphic violence or torture, monster stalking, Stockholm syndrome, horror, bestiality, vor, gore, guro, necrophilia, incest or pseudo-incest, crucifixion, and significant age gaps. Wow, quite a wide range there. Again, want to make it clear that by writing about these topics, authors aren't necessarily condoning them or romanticizing them, especially if they're using the dead dove tag. They're using that because they're aware of what they're writing about and they want to warn readers before they click, and they know that the content could be upsetting or freaky or yikes, so the readers should be aware of what they're getting into. But as the subject matter dead dove is often used to tag or is associated with can be taboo and controversial, you can imagine that it can spark outrage sometimes, especially by crowds who believe these topics should not be depicted at all in fiction for any reason. So if you need to, take care to block or exclude the dead dove tag to ensure you don't come across it while you're searching for fics. Some rules of thumb when it comes to navigating dead dove as both a reader and writer include: remember, it's not an all-encompassing tag or substitute for having heavier tags. If you're a writer, make sure to provide tags as to what the dead dove tag is there for. And if you decide to read a dead dove fic, make sure you pay extra attention to all the tags listed so nothing catches you off guard. Depending on what you like to read, a dead dove fic could very well be fairly innocuous or be shocking and out there and stuck in your brain for weeks. All in all, the tag is there to help readers be aware and safer when they're online searching for fics to read, while also giving people who want to read that flavor of fiction for whatever reason a way to find it, and those who don't want to read it a way to avoid it. Remember, if tags didn't exist, or if things were really poorly tagged like in olden times, then all of these fics would be floating around in the ether, and anyone none the wiser could click on it. But yeah, that's dead dove in a nutshell. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful if you weren't familiar with the tag. If you read or have read dead dove, what was the most out there dead dove fic you've ever read? If you don't read dead dove, could you see yourself reading it in the future, or is it just something you don't want to touch? All in all, dead dove is not for everyone, and you shouldn't feel pressured to read it or not read it. But it's there, and now you know what it is. If there are any other tags or fanfic terms you want me to clarify, then let me know in the comments. And yeah, thank you again so much for watching, guys. I will see you in my next video. Bye!
Fly away. Wings of love. Okay, all right, so that one is dead. We know that.
What's happening here?
Oh, yeah, we found this bird outside. We tried to turn it into a work whistle, like in the beginning of the Flintstones. Tougher than it looked, though.
Hey, can I get these?
How much are they?
$2 a piece.
Good deal.
My bird is missing. I need a permit to post signs.
Let me just look for that form.
There's no time. He can fly.
안녕.